Being a Godzilla fan is great, with us getting both new movies in the coming years and new games. Now, a topic I had in mind was, should the monsters stick to original Kaijus or Toho monsters? Hello everybody, Kenzuru here. And yes, I have rebranded my channel. If you haven't seen my post, well, technically it's Kenzuru Media, but for short, we'll call it Kenzuru. But for today, I'll going into reasoning why the monsters should stick to original Kaijus, and also the Toho Kaijus and their downsides. So with no further ado, let's begin. Now, why should the monsters stick to original Kaijus? Well, I'll give you a few reasons. Now, within every Godzilla era, there's at least an original Kaiju for every movie. For example, Godzilla vs. Megalon, introducing both Megalon and the GOAT, Jet Jaguar. And Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, introducing both Space Godzilla and Mogira. And Godzilla 2000 with its main villain being Orga. Now, mostly every movie has a unique antagonist or protagonist that our main Kaiju, Godzilla, has to fight. Now, these Kaijus can benefit the movie outside of merchandise, as having new fans support the idea of having original Kaiju by seeing the movie or making art of the Kaiju, which can show companies who are making the Godzilla movies like Toho or Legendary. Now, the monsters can benefit from this as well because their era is more mainstream, and it will also expand a newer audience to appreciate original Kaijus, as this can bring in more variety and quality to the monsters, which in my opinion is needed in order to be more unique from the other eras. And what they could do is either option A, make the comics into movies, or bring in certain concepts of Kaijus from the comics, kind of like how they brought Tiamat into physical form in Godzilla x Kong. Even though personally speaking, I don't like her design in GXK, but hey, that's not the main point of the video. So with that, let's get into the second part of the video, which is my reasoning on why they shouldn't have Toho monsters. Now, before I get a pitchfork of comics, I want to mention I don't hate the idea of monsters bringing in Toho Kaijus, but it's the fact if they can do it correctly. Because narratively speaking, Godzilla 2014 had a great plot centralizing around the Muto/Godzilla and the humans, even though the human characters weren't the best, excluding the GOAT. But in general, the themes of the movie and its impact on the world of the Monsterverse were pretty good at that time though. But its sequel, KOTN, is one of the most controversial movies of the modern era for Godzilla. You either love it or you either hate it. Now, this video is not going to be really focused on King of the Monsters, but its Kaijus are going to be focused on. Now, when they introduced Toho monsters for the first time, it gains lots of traction, obviously. It even started its own genre of like custom Godzilla posters you would see. But that's not the problem. The problem is, what did Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah really do well outside of the world building? And something to mention that their impact on the Monsterverse felt small because they felt too early. They felt rushed even. Now think of it as like this. Most people who are excited for -0 obviously want Kaijus like Mechagodzilla or Ghidorah to show up. But narratively speaking, that wouldn't make sense to the movie's themes, and it also wouldn't make sense at all because the story hasn't built that up yet. And that's why I'm saying when the Monsterverse does Toho Kaiju, it only feels like a cash grab. For example, Mechagodzilla, a Kaiju considered Toho's Big Five. And yet the best you can do is make him a surprise so the movie can get some extra money. Now, me personally, compared to his other counterparts, where he's either shown as a way for the human characters to have a counter against Godzilla, or make him something that aliens created, which was a major plot twist of the film. And generally saying, if I had the direction chair/control over the monsters, I would make the sequel to 2014 be Godzilla Aftershock, as it still continues the Muto story and was well grounded in my personal opinion, and also had a good villain that wasn't rushed. But with that, let's get into the video's conclusion. Now, I want to make a quick conclusion, as I like to say the early idea of returning monsters are cool, but I hope for the future of the monsters, there's a good balance of good written Toho Kaijus and also original Kaijus from its universe. So I thank you for watching. I've been Kenzuru, and peace out.